welcome to Unews on this first day of October. I'm Lorraine Caceres. We begin this hour with a verdict in a closely watched case from Texas. A former Dallas police officer has been found guilty of murder after she shot her neighbor. Her defense arguing it was a terrible mistake she made, thinking she was entering her apartment when in reality it was his home. An explanation the jury apparently did not believe. Pedro Rojas has been covering this trial and has the latest. Pedro? Now for a legal analysis of former prosecutor Joseph Maluf. Joseph, give us some insight. The jury could have chosen to find Geiger guilty of a lesser charge of manslaughter, but they ended up finding her guilty of murder. What's the difference? The presidency in peril, Donald Trump's personal lawyer and his Secretary of State under scrutiny, both now implicated in the controversial call with Ukraine at the center of the inquiry. Here's Andrea Linares.
Also today, Ukraine's president speaking out about his involvement in all this. President Zelensky says he never met or spoke to Giuliani on the phone. He also insisted no one can put pressure on him to investigate the former vice president or his son. Lorraine, now back to you.
Thank you very much, Andrea. Meanwhile, the president continues his attack against the whistleblower, insisting he wants to know his identity despite it being protected by a federal statute. Janet Rodriguez is at the White House with the latest. Janet?
That's right, and the latest coming from the White House this morning is the president tweeting once again today asking why he's not entitled to know the identity and questioned this whistleblower if, according to the president, this person had false or second-hand information. However, in Congress, one of the top Republicans there, Chuck Grassley, is warning the president that the identity of this person should not be known under any circumstances. It doesn't matter whether he had second-hand information or not. That identity is protected by federal law. And on another matter, the fight has the president once again questioning why he's not entitled to know the identity of that whistleblower, while the lawyers for that person warning once again that his identity or her identity may be in danger, and this person may be in danger if that identity is revealed one way or another. Back to you.
Thank you, Janet. We have much more ahead to New York State, where despite new regulations, nail salon workers say they continue to deal with poor conditions and low pay. The people who work there are mostly female immigrants who say they're jeopardizing their safety while trying to earn a living. As Blanca Rosa Vilches explains how these workers are mobilizing to fight their rights. Will test to see if shrinking seat sizes are safe for passengers. The AC surveillance video of a scary bus drive to school has just been released. The video shows the driver yelling and the children screaming, the whole thing apparently going on for hours until one student called 911 for help. Here's Gianni Aponte. Today marks 2 years since the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history. 58 people died and hundreds more were injured in Las Vegas rampage. A young Nevada girl who volunteered after the mass shooting in 2017 still honors the victims from that day in her own special way. Kelia Tejeda explains. The search for a missing girl in New Jersey has entered its third week. Her mother begging for the public's help and calling the person who took her a monster. Peggy Carranza has the details from Bridgeton, New Jersey.
Step for the families to request permission from the police to organize a search party at the end of the week. In Bridgeton, New Jersey, Peggy Carranza, Unews.
In Washington state, after a dramatic standoff with police, the Spokane Police Department confirmed that an armed man has been several frightening moments for a South Florida family. They were carjacked at gunpoint with an infant in the back seat. The baby's mother fighting the suspect, begging him not to take the car with the baby inside. The child's grandmother, who was sitting next to the 4-month-old, explains what happened next. Here's Paola Byron.
They've been coming back.
This man is facing murder charges, but what makes this case interesting are the circumstances surrounding the encounter. As Michelle Jurado explains, James Meyer is accused of shooting and killing an intruder and then heading back to bed.
I've known him.
Next, Guatemala's president announcing a major victory in the country. To the death of Mexico's Prince of Song, Jose's artistic career is one of the most complete and extensive in the Latin American entertainment world. He released his first single in 1965, and for 5 decades, he sold 120 million albums, not only in Mexico, but also throughout Latin America and the United States. Now, the people who worked with Jose are sharing their memories. Here's Jaime Garcia. Next, a new mom says a police officer was supposed to be an exciting trip to the airport to pick up a loved one turned into quite the opposite for a new mother in Pennsylvania. She was waiting with her newborn baby outside Philadelphia International Airport when she says a police officer harassed her for breastfeeding in her car. Aileen Cardet has the story. And now to the royal road trip. Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan are reunited in Johannesburg, South Africa this afternoon as they get ready to close out their visit. Miriam Arias has all the details.
The royal trip to South Africa is expected to end tomorrow on October 2nd. Now, Meghan and Harry will spend their last day meeting with entrepreneurs in Johannesburg, and they will also attend a reception celebrating the relationship between the United Kingdom and South Africa. They're also expected to meet the president, so let's see how it goes.
It's always so much fun to see everything they do for charity, for education. But moving on to other topics.
So she just made a visit to the Eiffel Tower, and
it's complicated, but
I do want to share one more quick story if we have some time before we go.